Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and we're here with super blurry background Jessica Vega from San
This is
Antonio,
me.
and
Hello.
yeah, she made me do the double dual thing on the video, um,
Yes,
and
it's not just me talking.
uh so the Pizzagate episode was actually our most viewed episode so far with 92
Was it
views on YouTube.
90 views?
Yeah,
Did we get any thumbs down?
we did. It's also our most disliked video. Well,
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
but it's also our most liked video too.
But like as far as I know, none of them were liked or disliked before that one.
Yeah. So we have so far 3 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. So we outbit the thumbs down by 1.
Okay.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are going to be talking about the Donald Trump sexual misconduct allegations,
Yeah.
which is a list
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a two-parter. If we feel like it, I don't know. I might just make it one shot and just be wash our hands to this whole Trump miniseries thing, because
Mm-hmm.
in 2 days, as of the time of recording, it's gonna be election day, and hopefully we can be finished with this.
Mm. Yes, hopefully, and hopefully Biden wins. That's where I'm at. Biden and Harris, Kamala Harris. Let's do
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm
Right
ready
now,
to have a president. I'm ready to have a president in the office that has class, has respect, that knows how to talk to people
mm-hmm.
when not putting people down and not caring. That's not a bully. I feel like he's bullied America into believing his bullshit.
Mm,
So here we are.
mm-hmm.
That's my stand on
Yeah, I
it.
know. Like a lot of the people who voted for him in 2016 saw that he did not fulfill the promises that compelled them to vote for him. Then they're deciding not to vote for him this year, because of that, or they're just saying that, or they're still going to vote for him even though they don't like him because they're loyal to their party, which
Hmm.
I don't think that's really smart.
Whatever.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, it's the conservative vote. It's the church people.
But we can beat them because in Texas, if everybody in all the cities in Texas, which is all very blue, like in Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Austin, El Paso, and all of the South Texas plains are all blue. And if every one of them vote in order to, like these very heavily populated areas, they vote for Biden and they outweigh the rural conservative vote, which is where the all the Republicans are, is in those vast spaces in Texas, where it's mostly just rural area, but the population's really
Speaking of,
small.
yes, I went on a day trip really for one day with my daughter and my friend. We drove to Austin and we took a different route. We went 281. And when you take that route, you go through a lot of areas like that. And these people own like big pieces of land and farms and and just Trump flags all over. So it was nice for me to see the other side of the fence along the same, you know, roads with Harris and Trump. I mean, Harris and Biden, they're along. Like, they don't care. Like, you can have your freaking Trump's stuff over there, but we're going to have our stuff over here. And they
Mm-hmm.
come from the same, they have both equal big amount of space, land, but very different
Right.
views, clearly.
Yeah. And But the population there's really small in terms of that, and if we
Mm.
could outvote them in these heavily populated blue cities, we can make Texas blue. And if we make Texas blue, then it's done. It's over.
I know, and
The
right now
Republic.
it's still red.
No, right now
Barely though.
it's tied. As of
Mm-hmm.
last time checked, it was tied in the polls. But the polls, they do not matter. It only matters if you actually go do the thing. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of record breaking amount of voters out this year, and also the Parkland, not the Parkland, the well, yeah, Parkland, but the Stoneman Douglas teenagers are now old enough to vote, and they're definitely voting. They've been very vocal about that, and that is going to be a game changer. The Gen Z
Right.
demographic.
The young vote. The
Mm-hmm.
young generation.
And
Yep.
they're all coming out. So let's talk about the numerous sexual misconduct allegations after that giant intro thing, because you gotta go vote. Am I right,
Mm-hmm.
Jessica? Hopefully, I'll have
Yes.
this up before Tuesday, which is
And
election
yeah,
day.
and I'll be having my conversations with people, and they get heated about it, like real heated about it. Fuck Trump, fuck Trump. Oh, yeah, yeah. You feel that way? Then go vote. Because I'll be honest, I was one of those people that did not vote last time,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like an asshole for it because I talk a lot of crap about it. But I was one of the people that I'm one of the reasons why he is where he is, because I didn't go and do my due diligence as an American citizen, exercise my right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna let that happen again.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
mom was like, "Do it. You better do it." I was like,
Yeah,
"You know what?"
you definitely should.
Yeah.
Because that was in our episode with the Russian interference. One of their big things was, in order to make American voters like have a distrust in the American legal system, so they just don't vote at all. So
Right. So if you haven't already, check out the Hillary Clinton miniseries. It's really interesting
was it just called?
on
It's just called.
on Hulu.
Yeah, it's just called
It's
Hillary.
called Hillary. Yeah. So I wish I would have known all that stuff beforehand.
Mm.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't know her, and because they don't know her, they don't trust her enough to trust her word over what they hear.
Right. The FBI did say they did not find anything uh, in those emails. She's
Mm-hmm.
cleared of all wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
And they also cleared her for war crimes in terms of the incident that happened in Benghazi. She's been cleared of that as well. So let's see what else is going on.
I think she would have been great.
Yeah, the closest thing that the Trump is trying to get with Biden is the Hunter thing.
His son.
His son who
All of a sudden, there's some crazy stuff on his laptop that went to a shop where the cameras were not working that day.
and the
Yeah,
and the clerk was blind.
yeah,
But
that's not suspicious at
wow,
all.
like how dumb do you think he is to give somebody a laptop with a lot of incriminating evidence in it and then just not pick it up?
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
that's plain dirty. That is plain dirty. Because no.
So let's talk about the sexual misconduct allegations. Now these are just allegations. None of it is proven. So yeah, so Trump, who is the current president of the United States, has been accused of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment, including non-consensual kissing or groping by at least 25 women since the 1970s. Oh, I see you didn't really like that one. All right, so let's talk about this. The first one is Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's first wife, who they married in 1977. Ivana stated in a deposition taken in 1989 during the divorce proceedings that Donald had visited her plastic surgeon, following which he had expressed anger and ripped out hair from her scalp. Donald said that the accusation was obviously false. The book Lost Tycoon by Henry Hurt III described the alleged attack as a violent assault during which Donald attacked Ivana sexually. According to the book, Ivana later confided to some of her friends that Donald had raped her. In a statement given just before the publication of Hurt's book and included in the book, Ivana said, "On one occasion during 1989, Mr. Trump and I had marital relations in which he behaved very differently toward me than he had during our marriage. As a woman, I felt violated as the love and tenderness which he normally exhibited towards me was absent. I referred to this as a rape, but I do not want my words to be interpreted in literal or criminal sense." So the Trump's divorce was granted on December 1990 on grounds that Donald's treatment of Ivana, including his affair with Marla Maples, was cruel and inhuman. According to Trump's lawyer, Jay Goldberg, this was based on Trump having been seen in public with Marla Maples in 1990. Their settlement had a confidentiality clause preventing Ivana discussing the marriage or the divorce. In 1992, Trump sued Ivana for not honoring a gag clause in their divorce agreement by disclosing facts about him in her best-selling book, and Trump won the gag order. Years later, Ivana said that she and Donald are best of friends. In July 2015, campaign endorsement, Ivana said, "I recently read some comments attributed to me from nearly 30 years ago, at a time of very high tension during my divorce with Donald. That story is totally without merit."
Whatever. He paid her like $100,000 a month or something like that, maybe more.
Mm.
And then hey man, money makes you forget some things.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I saw you roll your eyes there too.
He won the gag order. Get out of here.
Okay. Well,
It's really hard for me to believe that people with this kind of money can get through the legal system without pulling strings or throwing money here, throwing money there. So, you know what I mean?
Right. So let's talk about Jill Harth. So Jill Harth alleged that Trump assaulted her several times. Harth has stated that in December 1992, while dining with Trump and her then-boyfriend George Harney, Trump attempted to put his hands between her legs. Harth and Harney visited Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida in January 1993 for a contract signing celebration. Trump, according to Harth, offered her a tour before pulling her into an empty bedroom of his daughter Ivanka. "I was admiring the decoration, and next thing I know, he's pushing me against a wall, and he has hands all over me. He was trying to kiss me. I was freaking out." That's Harth saying. She desperately protested against Trump's advances and eventually managed to run out of the room. She and her boyfriend left rather than stay the night as they had intended. After she became engaged, Harth alleges Trump began to stalk her. So Harth filed a lawsuit in 1997 in which she accused Trump of non-consensual groping of her body, among them her intimate private parts, and relentless sexual harassment. The suit was withdrawn after Harney settled with Trump for an undisclosed amount in a lawsuit that claimed that Trump had backed out of a business deal. She still claims to have been sexually assaulted, and although he was never violent with her, she says his actions were unwanted and aggressive, very sexually aggressive. Following the incident, Harth said that she received a couple years of therapy. In 2015, she contacted Trump's campaign to get a job as a makeup artist and sell her men's cosmetic product line. She later said, "Yes, I had moved on, but had not forgotten the pain Trump brought into my life. I was older, wiser. Trump was married to Melania, and I had hoped he was a changed man." She worked at one of Trump's rallies as a makeup artist, and one of the experiences she said, "I'm a makeup artist. The guy's a mess, okay? He really needed my services, and I'm a makeup artist that needs a job. Why would, if I was on friendly terms, Why wouldn't I get that job? So Hart's lawsuit was first published on February 2016 by Law News. Her case was first published in May 2016 in the New York Times article Crossing the Line. Trump characterized her story in the Times as false, malicious, and libelous, and he strongly denies the claims. Hart stood by her charges in a July 2016 interview with The Guardian. In October 2016, she said that if sued by Trump, she intends to countersue.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think about that entire situation?
I believe her 100%. For a guy that walks around and says if he just go up to a woman and I just, grab her by the what, that sounds exactly like what he did. Mm-hmm. And what she's claiming he did.
Yeah. So let's move on to E. Jean Carroll. So on November 4th, 2019, writer E. Jean Carroll filed a lawsuit against Trump accusing him of defamation by claiming she lied. The author, who had first publicly disclosed the alleged sexual assault by Trump in June, said Trump's reaction to the accusation has directly harmed her career and reputation. Carroll said that she was filing a lawsuit on behalf of each woman who has faced harassment, assault, or belittlement. Therefore, Trump has stated that her allegation was just a promotion strategy for her book entitled What Do We Need Men For? A Modest Proposal, where she discloses details about the alleged assault. The White House press secretary responded to the lawsuit claiming it was frivolous and that the story was fake, just like the author. What was that reaction about?
I'm just responding.
Okay. So on September 2020, the Justice Department filed a court motion seeking to take over Trump's defense, arguing that he had acted within the scope of the presidency when he called Carroll a liar. The Justice Department also moved the case to a federal court from a state court, which the previous month had denied a motion by Trump's attorney to delay the case, which was about to enter the discovery phase. During discovery, Trump could be required to provide a deposition as well as a DNA sample to compare to genetic material purportedly found on the dress Carroll says she was wearing during the alleged sexual assault. Attorney General Bill Barr asserted the move was a routine application of the Westfall Act that permits the Justice Department to defend federal employees against civil liability for acts conducted in the normal course of their duties. Barr stated that the White House had requested the Justice Department action and noted that taxpayers would pay any judgment should Carroll win the case. The next month, the Justice Department asserted in a court filing that the president should not be held liable in a personal suit because he spoke in his official capacity as president. An argument that, if accepted by the court, would have the practical effect of dismissing the suit because government employees largely enjoy immunity from defamation suits. On October 27th, federal judge Lewis Kaplan rejected the Justice Department's attempt to intervene in the case, ruling the suit could proceed on the basis of Trump's actions as a private citizen. Kaplan stated that the Justice Department improperly considered the president an officer of a federal agency rather than a constitutional officer. So what do you think about that whole situation?
Sounds like a mess.
Yeah, I know. And in this case, Trump was trying to use the Justice Department as as his own personal law firm.
So DNA sample trainer. So she's saying that he sexually assaulted her?
Yeah.
And he's calling her a liar.
Yeah.
She has evidence.
Yeah. But he refuses to give it. So let's
show me the receipts.
Okay.
Dude, it was a long time ago. But still, it doesn't matter.
This was in 1995 or 1996. So let's fast forward to 2007 with Summer Zervos, who was a contestant on the 5th season of The Apprentice, which filmed in 2005 and aired in 2006. Subsequently, she contacted Trump in 2007 about a job after the show's completion, and he invited her to meet him at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Zervos has said that Trump was sexually suggestive during their meeting, kissing her open mouth groping her breasts and thrusting his genitals on her.
Yeah.
She also said that his behavior was aggressive and not consensual. Servos is being represented by attorney Gloria Allred. You sounded like you were very disgusted by that.
Yes. Ugh, just sounds like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Just wild, like has no self-control. I get what I want because I'm a billionaire and you're just going to say yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
So John...
Or I can just pay you off, so...
Yeah, that's what he did to Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And that got out. See, John Barry, her cousin and a Trump supporter, has said Zervos talked to her family and friends about Trump promoting his candidacy and stating how Trump had helped her out in her life. Barry said that during the presidential primary campaign, Zervos invited Trump to her restaurant and he declined. In October 2016, the Trump presidential campaign released an email by Zervos sent to Trump's secretary on April 2016, in which he stated, "I would greatly appreciate reconnecting at this time. He will know my intentions are genuine." Zervos said she had intended to confront Trump and give him the opportunity to clear the air. On April 21st, she sent another email to Trump's assistant, which she asked to be forwarded to Trump, in which she stated, "I have been incredibly hurt by our previous interaction." So on January 17th, 2017, Zervos filed a defamation lawsuit against Trump, arising from his statement that she had lied about the accusations. Mark Kasowitz is defending Trump in that case. So Zervos has filed a subpoena for all documents concerning any woman who asserted that Donald J. Trump touched her inappropriately. On March 21st, 2018, a New York Supreme Court judge decided to allow a defamation lawsuit against the president to go forward. On June 4th, 2018, Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Jennifer Schechter ruled that Trump must be deposed by January 31st, 2019. As of September 9th, 2018, Trump will provide written answers under oath in the defamation lawsuit. And on March 14th, 2019, a New York appeals court rejected Trump's argument that the Constitution makes him immune from state lawsuits, clearing the way for a defamation suit. On December 2nd, 2019, Trump agreed to submit questioning under oath by January 31st, 2020. In January 2020, a New York intermediate appellate court put the defamation lawsuit on hold until a New York Court of Appeals could decide the fate of the case. The case hold meant that the January 31st, 2020 deadline for Trump to testify was also put on hold.
So this has been going on since 2007.
She filed the lawsuit.
10 years later is when she filed the lawsuit.
Yeah, she filed the lawsuit, which has been going on for 3 years, and Trump's been avoiding it every which way.
Does.
He's been trying to push it in any which way he can. So
when did he get married to Melania? Do we know?
I'm sure we know, but I don't know when.
I don't know how many years it's been. I mean, I think their son is like 13, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But that's assuming that they had him in wedlock. They could have had him out of wedlock, but I don't know.
Very true. Very true.
So let me see.
Okay.
When was Trump married to Melania? In 2005. January 22nd, 2005.
So he's just doing all this stuff while he's married. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I low-key feel like that's like an arrangement that they have. Because I'm sorry. Melania is like a 10 and he's like a negative 10. I don't understand. But money talks. And money puts beer goggles on people, I guess.
And she's very cold to him a lot.
I know. So that's why I feel like there's like some low-key like arrangement, like super secretive arrangement.
Right. She's constantly pulling her.
She gets to like do her thing, you know? And she's like, you do your thing, but don't let this shit get out.
Right. And
you know?
And she's constantly like pulling her hand away and stuff.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just my opinion that's probably, I don't know if it's true,
It's an
but come
alleged.
on, guys. Come on.
It's just your opinion.
This is my opinion.
So let's talk about what happened on February 25th, 2019, about one Alva Johnson, who filed a lawsuit against Trump alleging he had forcibly kissed her at a rally in Florida in August 2016. While she was working on his 2016 presidential campaign, Johnson said two people, including Pam Bondi, then Attorney General of Florida, saw the kiss but both denied it. According to an interview with Teen Vogue, Johnson decided to stop working for the Trump campaign after the media started covering the Access Hollywood tape. She declared sick days until she could speak to a lawyer. In addition to the unwanted sexual attention, the lawsuit also alleges that Johnson was a victim of race and gender discrimination through unequal pay. In response, the White House press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders called the lawsuit absurd on its face. So,
She would.
what did you think about that instance? Because it's happened during the campaign with someone who was on the campaign.
It's gross. He's gross. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that it was just one person.
I don't know. She's the only one that actually came out with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm surprised, because, there's not just one.
Right. So in May 2016, the New York Times published the article Crossing the Line. For the article, Times reporters Michael Barbaro and Megan Twohey conducted 50 interviews with women who had known Trump socially, during their professional career, or while modeling or competing for a beauty pageant title. So this is a line from the article. Their accounts, many relayed here in their own words, reveal unwelcome romantic advances, unending commentary about the female form, a shrewd reliance on ambitious women, and unsettling workplace conduct. According to the interviews as well as court records and written recollections, the interactions occurred in his offices, at Trump Tower, at his homes, at construction sites, and backstage at beauty pageants. They appeared to be fleeting, unimportant moments to him, but they left lasting impressions on the women who experienced them. Other women interviewed for the story, a few of whom had worked for Trump, stated that they had not received unwanted advances and that they had never known Mr. Trump to objectify women or treat them with disrespect. Joe Martin, a vice president and assistant counsel at the company, said Trump was supportive of her role and her role as a mother. Laura Kurilova Chukhanov, a Bulgarian immigrant and 2009 Miss USA pageant contestant, said Trump helped her make connections for a documentary she was working on about her home country. Rowan Brewer-Lane, Trump's former girlfriend, was quoted at length in the article and was featured in the opening anecdote. Following the article's publication, Brewer-Lane accused the New York Times of taking her quotes out of context, and said she was flattered and not insulted by Trump. Trump's spokesperson Barry Bennett responded to the story, stating they talked to 50 women and managed to put 7 or 8 in the story. Over half of them had great things to say. The one that had great things to say, they twisted it and called her debased, which is not how she feels. The New York Times defended the story and said Brewer-Lane was quoted fairly, accurately, and at length. So what do you think about that?
It's just weird.
Mm-hmm. So then something happened that made a lot more people come out. And I will tell you what it is. So 2 days before the second 2016 presidential debate, the 2005 Access Hollywood tape was released, in which records Trump having an extremely lewd conversation about women, in which he described being able to kiss and grope women because he was a star. I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a
Mm-hmm.
star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the hoo ha. You can
Mm-hmm.
do anything. Many attorneys and media commentators have said Trump's statements describe sexual assault. On October 7th, Trump released a video statement in which he said, "I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize." He called the development a distraction and attempted to deflect attention to the Clintons, and in particular, sexual assault scandals involving Bill Clinton. Republican critics called on him to withdraw from the presidential race. During the second debate, Anderson Cooper asked Trump if he understood that he had bragged about sexually assaulting women. Cooper used the Justice Department's sexual assault definition to include any type of sexual conduct or behavior that occurs without the explicit consent of the recipient. Trump denied having said that he had sexually assaulted women. He claimed the comments were merely locker room talk. Then, after being asked 3 times whether he had ever kissed or groped any person without consent, he said, "No, I have not." Several of the subsequent accusers said that this was the moment at which they were motivated to come forward. So, what do you think? You look like you have something to say.
I said it earlier. I didn't realize that was going to come up now. But yes, 100%. Everything that the lady described in the first allegation that we have here, which was from 95, 96, it's this right here. I just start kissing them and touching them, and I'm like, and he's disgusting.
Right. So let's talk about the accusers who came out after this thing came out, after the Access Hollywood tape came out. So the first one would be in the early 1980s, which would be one Jessica Leeds. So Leeds was a businesswoman at a paper company on a flight from the Midwest returning to New York. A flight attendant offered her an empty seat in the first class cabin next to Trump. Leeds alleged that about 45 minutes after takeoff, Trump lifted the armrest and began touching her, groping her breast, and tried to put his hand up her skirt. He was like an octopus, she said. His hands were everywhere. It was an assault. Leeds said that she had sent a letter containing her allegations to the editor of the New York Times. Her story was printed by the New York Times on October 2016, along with an account from Rachel Crooks. Trump spokesperson Jason Miller responded to the allegation, calling it fiction. Miller stated the charges were politically motivated for this to only become public decades after the final month of the campaign for president should say it all. So Trump publicly threatened to sue the Times over the newspaper's publication of the allegation and demanded a retraction. The Times rejected Trump's retraction demand, and Trump never followed through on his threat to take legal action against the company like a wuss.
Mm-hmm.
So, an alleged witness to the case who claimed she saw nothing untoward upon the flight was former British Conservative county councillor from Leicestershire, Anthony Gilberthorpe. Gilberthorpe has previously made false allegations against politicians and has been previously accused of making advances of an intimate nature towards conservative students. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Gloucestershire. That's the name. So, on October 14th, 2016, the Washington Post reported an allegation by Kristen Anderson. Anderson said that Trump groped her beneath her skirt in a Manhattan nightclub in the early 1990s. An aspiring model at the time of the alleged incident, Anderson told the story to her friends and decided to come forward after reading accounts of other women who had done so. Anderson believed the alleged assault occurred at the China Club, a Manhattan nightclub that Newsday referred to as Donald's Monday Night Nest, due to his alleged habit of picking up women there. So, what do you think so far about these two women who came forward?
I mean, they're both women from different times, and they're both saying almost the same thing.
Right. Let's see about a third one. Okay. On October 13th, 2016, the Huffington Post reported an allegation by Lisa Boyne. Boyne said Sonia Morgan, then Sonia Tremont, invited her to dinner with Trump modeling agent John Casablancas and 5 or 6 models. Boyne alleged that Trump made the models walk across the table, looked under their skirts, and described if they were wearing underwear. Morgan told the Huffington Post that the dinner took place with those participants did not recall lewd behavior by Trump and said, "But I have been known to dance on tables." Boyne said that she called her roommate Karen Beatrice that night to inform her about the incident. The Huffington Post contacted Beatrice, who denied any such call. Makes you think. What do you think? Do you believe him?
No.
You don't believe Boyne?
I don't believe him. I believe her, yeah.
Okay. So, on October 15th, 2016, The Guardian reported an allegation by Kathy Heller that she was grabbed and kissed by Donald Trump 2 decades earlier. Heller said that in 1997, she met Trump when she attended a Mother's Day brunch with her children, her husband, and her husband's parents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Her parents-in-law were members of Mar-a-Lago. Heller was introduced to Trump, who became angry when she avoided a kiss. He then grabbed her and then tried to kiss her. She turned her head. Trump kissed her on the side of the mouth for a little too long and then left her.
Gross.
Yeah. So Heller's husband and children, who were present during the event, have corroborated her account. On summer of 2015, the members of Heller's Mahjong group heard Heller's account of the 1997 incident. This was not long after Trump announced his candidacy. She decided to go public after seeing the second presidential debate on October 9th, 2016. Heller is a registered Democrat, a public supporter of Hillary Clinton, and the Trump campaign spokesperson Jason Miller said Heller's account was false and politically motivated. So that seems to be their defense to everything.
I mean, politically motivated or not, who in their right mind wants a man in charge of a freaking country that is capable of doing these kinds of things without thinking that it's okay?
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Politically motivated. Okay, politically motivated to not have him in charge of our state, of our country.
Right.
Yeah.
So on May 2016, the New York reported allegations by Temple Taggart McDowell. McDowell, who was Miss Utah USA in 1997, accused Trump of unwanted kisses and embraces that left McDowell and one of her chaperones so uncomfortable, according to McDowell, that she claimed she was instructed not to be left in the room alone with him again. According to McDowell, a chaperone had accompanied her to Trump's office. At the time, McDowell was 21 and was known as Temple Taggart. This incident occurred in Trump's first year of ownership of the Miss USA contest. So McDowell told her story initially to the New York Times in May 2016, which was published in the Crossing the Line article. She had not intended to speak publicly about the incidents again, but she received numerous calls recently due to the Crossing the Line article and felt, as a mother, that it was important to share a message about unwanted advances. You have the right to say no, and you have the right to get out of there. You have the right to leave, and you have the right to make them feel uncomfortable if they're making you feel uncomfortable, she said. So Trump said she does not know her and denied McDowell's claims. He also told the New York Times that he is reluctant to kiss strangers on the lips. Right. So Taggart McDowell said that she is a Republican and not coming out with the allegation in order to support Hillary Clinton.
That's unfortunate, but
yeah. But I think she's saying that she's not saying the allegation is politically motivated. She's saying that it's not politically motivated because she's a registered Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to add credibility to her allegation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Amy Doris. Same year. So former model Amy Doris said in September 2020 that she and her boyfriend Jason Bin attended the 1997 U.S. Open with Donald Trump, who Bin had described as his best friend. She alleges that Trump groped and kissed her without her consent at the event. The Guardian confirmed that she told her mother and a friend in New York immediately after the incident, and that she had told her therapist and several other friends about it over the years. Bin did not reply to the Guardian's request for comment. Trump denied the allegation via his lawyers. Former top model Karen Bernstein stated that her husband was the New York friend and that Doris had told her about the assault in 2008. So, at an October 2016 press conference with attorney Gloria Allred, yoga instructor and life coach Karina Virginia said that in 1998, Trump grabbed her arm and touched her breast. Virginia, who was 27 years old at the time, was waiting for a ride after the U.S. Open in Queens. She said Trump, whom she had not met previously, approached her with a small group of other men while commenting on her legs. He then grabbed her right arm. Virginia continued, "Then his hand touched my right side of my breast. I was in shock. I flinched. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am?" That's what he said to me. I felt intimidated and I felt powerless. So Trump campaign spokesperson Jessica Dito responded to the allegation with a statement reading, in part, discredited political operative Gloria Allred and another coordinated publicly seeking attack with the Clinton campaign will stop at nothing to smear Mr. Trump.
He does that on his own. All these women are doing are just saying incidents that they encountered or had, unfortunately.
They're just saying
smearing
that's
him.
the only defense that they can think of. It's like, it was politically motivated. Yep. That's the only thing they can think of. So, in Barry Levine and Monique L. Faizy's book, All the President's Women, Taryn Johnson alleged that she attended a New Year's Eve party at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate, where Trump grabbed her by her genitals, pulled her behind a tapestry, and forcibly kissed her. Johnson also alleged that days after the incident, Trump repeatedly called her without her giving him the phone number, offering to fly her to meet him, which she rejected. The book states that Johnson told a friend about the incident years before Trump ran for president. In an October 2016 article by Palm Beach Post, Mindy McGillivray stated that in January 2003, when she was 23 years old, she was groped by Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate. She said, "All of a sudden, I felt a grab, a little nudge. I think it's my friend Ken Davidoff's camera bag. That was my first instinct. I turn around, and there's Donald. He sort of looked away quickly. Ken Davidoff, a photographer, corroborated McGillivray's account, saying that he remembered her pulling him aside moments after the alleged incident to say, 'Donald just grabbed my buttocks.'" So McGillivray said she chose to stay quiet and never reported the incident to authorities. She had shared details of the incident only with close family and friends until she heard Trump deny such behavior during the second presidential debate on October 9th, 2016. Hope Hicks, Trump's press secretary, said McGillivray's allegations lacked any merit or veracity and were untruthful. Ken Davidoff's brother, Daryl Davidoff, said that he was also president at the time of Mar-a-Lago and that his opinion of McGillivray, and in his opinion, McGillivray is lying. According to Daryl, "I do not believe it really happened. Nobody saw it happen, and she just wanted to be in the limelight." She wanted to be in limelight as a sexual assault victim? Yeah, I'm sure that's everyone's dream.
Because we all want that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's everyone lady's dream. So,
Piece of shit.
oh snap! I can see you're getting heated.
it just sucks. Like, look at all these women saying these things.
This is a lot. This is a
He's
lot.
a shithead.
And
Like, I know it's a lot, and they're women that don't know each other, and the stories are all similar, like super similar. Obviously, they're going to be different, but what's happening is all similar, all the same, actually.
Right.
And he just gets away with it. And that's why he says what he says, because he knows he can get away with it.
Right. Wait, did I miss? Okay. So, who was the last person? Okay. On in early October 2016, Grazia.
The next one.
No, this is it.
Yep, you're right.
Reported an allegation
Right.
by Jennifer Murphy, a former contestant of the fourth season of The Apprentice. Murphy said that in 2005, after Trump had recently married Melania Naus, she had a job interview with Trump. When she was leaving, Trump kissed her on the lips, which took her by surprise. Murphy said Trump had offered her job interviews a day after she had left The Apprentice, that she immediately declined his job offer, and that she would still vote for Trump in the 2016 election. Ugh. Murphy was invited to Trump Tower for a job interview, and Trump allegedly kissed her on the elevator while dropping her on the way out. Murphy elaborated that she had hoped Trump would remain true to his marriage and consider the fact that she was also engaged at the time. She also disclosed that Trump made multiple comments about her appearance during work, and that the editors had to cut it out. However, Murphy said that she wouldn't want Trump to feel like she's throwing him under the bus, as it did not really bother her. All right.
Okay.
In 2005, what?
It didn't bother her. Okay.
In 2005, Rachel Crooks was a 22-year-old receptionist at the Bay Rock Group, a real estate investment and development company in Trump Tower in Manhattan. She says she encountered Trump in an elevator in the building one morning and turned to introduce herself. They shook hands, but Trump would not let go. Instead, he began kissing her cheeks, then directly on the mouth. It was so inappropriate, which is what Crooks recalled in an interview. So I was so upset that he had, that he thought I was so insignificant that he could do that. Her story was printed by the New York Times in October 2016, along with that of Jessica Leeds. Trump has disputed Crooks' claims, writing on Twitter, "Who would do this in a public space with live security cameras running?" I think you need to look in the mirror. So Crooks is a public supporter and donor of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. So, Canadian author and journalist Natasha Stoynoff, who wrote for People magazine, had previously the Toronto Star and Toronto Sun, went to Trump's Florida estate in December 2005 to interview him and his wife, Melania. While there, Trump gave Stoynoff a tour of the Mar-a-Lago estate. She says that during the tour, she pushed her against the wall and forced his tongue into her mouth. Stoynoff described the alleged episode. So this is what she says. "So we walked into that room alone, and Trump shut the door behind us. I turned around, and within seconds, he was pushing me against the wall and forcing his tongue down my throat. I was stunned, and I was grateful when Trump's longtime butler burst into the room a minute later as I tried to unpin myself." Stoynoff composed herself and conducted the interview, after which she said Trump repeatedly told her, "We're going to have an affair, I'm telling you." Melania was also interviewed for that article. So
gross.
Yeah. Trump sent out a tweet on December 13th, 2016, which said that it had not happened and wondered why she had not mentioned the event in her People article of 2005. Stoynoff responded that she had become angry when Trump denied assaulting women during the presidential debate and was triggered by the release of the Access Hollywood recording in early October. Until that point, she said that she had conflicting emotions common among victims of assault, combined with embarrassment and confusion. J.D. Heyman, People's deputy editor, said, I was disorienting. It was disorienting for her. She felt a great deal of worry and distress about it. Then she felt angry. That same day, Melania's lawyer demanded an apology from People magazine, stated that Melania did not say some or all of what was quoted in the People article by Stoyanov published on October 12, 2016. Melania specifically denied Stoyanov's claim that she'd run into her on Fifth Avenue following the article's publication. In an interview with Anderson Cooper that aired on October 17th, on CNN, Melania again denied having crossed paths with Stoyanov on Fifth Avenue, as stated in Stoyanov's article. The following day, People published the account of Liza Hertz. Hertz said she witnessed the sidewalk encounter between Stoyanov and Melania Trump. Hertz's account corroborated that of Stoyanov. So, on October 18th, People produced 6 corroborating witnesses who said Stoyanov had re-encountered the incident to them around the time it occurred. The 6 witnesses were 2 editors from People, Mary Green and Liz McNeil, a professor of journalism, Paul McLaughlin, a co-worker, and 2 personal friends of Ms. Stoyanov. So Trump's former butler at Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, Anthony Senecal, 85 years old, was asked about the 2005 incident in which Stoyanov alleged that the butler had burst in on Trump while she was pinned down by him. Senecal denied it ever happened, stating that, as a butler, I do not burst in. I knock, then I go in. Usually after when someone says, come in. Further alleging, and when I went in, there was nothing strange about where she was standing. According to Senecal, the alleged incident took place in an old massage room with windows all around, which made it unsuitable to grope anyone, since there was no privacy. What do you think?
What a lie.
You think Senecal is just covering?
Yes, of course. That's what he does. That's what they do.
I mean, butlers have a reputation of actually doing the crime. Am I right?
That or protecting the person that they work for.
We're not saying that he committed a crime. We're just saying that in fiction, it's usually the butler who committed the murder in a fictional story. So let's talk about Juliet Huddy. So in early December 2017, the reporter Juliet Huddy said Trump kissed her on the lips while they were in an elevator on Trump Tower with Trump's security guard in 2005 or 2006. Regarding this incident, Huddy said, I was surprised that he went for the lips, but I didn't feel threatened. Whatever, everything was fine. It was a weird moment. He never tried anything after that, and I was never alone with him. Yeah. On October 22nd, 2016, Jessica Drake and attorney Gloria Allred held a news conference in which Drake accused Trump of having sexually assaulted her by grabbing tightly in a hug and kissed her on two acquaintances nearly 10 years prior. Drake, an adult film actress and sex education advocate, said she met Trump at her company's booth during a charity golf tournament at Lake Tahoe in 2006. Drake claims she was invited to meet with Trump, who was married at the time, at his hotel suite. She was uncomfortable going alone, so she brought 2 friends. Describing the meeting with Trump, Drake recounted that he grabbed each of us tightly in a hug and kissed each one of us without asking permission. Drake said that she and her friends left the suite after 30 to 45 minutes. Shortly thereafter, Drake claims she received phone calls from Trump or his associate, requesting that she join him in his suite for $10,000 and offering to fly her on his jet back to Los Angeles. She said she declined his offers. During the news conference, Drake said, I'm not looking for monetary compensation. I do not need additional fame. I understand that I may be called a liar or an opportunist, but I will risk that in order to stand in solidarity with women who share similar accounts. During the news conference, Gloria Allred held up a picture showing Trump and Drake standing together at the time. So in response to Drake's allegations, the Trump campaign stated that her story was false and ridiculous, and that the picture was one of thousands taken out of respect for people asking to have their picture taken with Mr. Trump because he's so great. But Trump did not know Drake and would have no interest in ever knowing her, and that the story was just another attempt by the Clinton campaign to defame a candidate. Okay. So Trump appeared to dismiss the significance of the accusation because of Drake's line of work, saying, "Oh, I'm sure she's never been grabbed before." What a monster. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because she's an adult film actress doesn't mean that she wants to be assaulted. That's not an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in October 27th, 2016, a local Finnish tabloid, Ilta Sanomat, reported an allegation by Nini Laaksonen, Miss Finland 2006. Laaksonen appeared with Trump on The Late Show with David Letterman on July 26, 2006. Laaksonen claims that before they went on the air, Trump grabbed her buttocks. As Laaksonen describes the interaction, "He really grabbed my butt. I don't think anybody saw it, but I flinched and thought, what is happening?" Someone later told Laaksonen that Trump liked her because she looked like his wife, Melania, when she was younger. Oh, snap. That
looks the same. Godly.
So, Laaksonen revealed her account to a local Finnish tabloid, Ilta Sanomat, which had contacted her regarding a level of professionalism involved in Donald Trump's handling of his employees within the Miss Universe pageant. The story was published on October 27th, 2016. So, here we go. So, Rolling Stone and NPR have reported that Cassandra Searles, Miss Washington USA of 2013, was fondled by Trump. One second. Was fondled by Trump without her consent during the Miss USA pageant of that year. In June 2016, Searles wrote that Trump invited her to his hotel room. Yahoo News published an article in June 2016 stated that Searles had made Facebook postings that accused Trump of making unwanted advances. She said he was continually groping her buttocks and had asked her to go to his hotel room. Searles also asserted that Trump had treated us like cattle. Trump and his campaign had not specifically responded to Searles' allegations. So, what are you thinking?
I mean, it's all the same. Different people. Sucks.
So let's talk about the pageant dressing room visits. So, Trump... Huh? What was that?
I already can see what's going to happen.
Okay, so Trump's owned the Miss Universe franchise, which includes Miss USA and Miss Teen USA from 1996 to 2015. In a Howard Stern interview in 2005, he said he made a practice of walking into contestants' dressing rooms unannounced while the women were undressed. Okay, this is what he says. This is his own words. This is Trump's own words. "I'll go backstage before show and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. You know, no men are anywhere, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes, and you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that, but no, I've been very good." That's what a good person does.
Yeah, just walks in to a women's dressing room knowing damn well that he should not be there.
But he's the owner, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The man has no respect. No, whatever.
So in that interview, Trump declined to say whether he had slept with any contestants, saying it would be a conflict of interest. Stern then imitated a foreign contestant. "Mr. Trump, in my country we say hello with vajayjay." Come on, that's kind of funny. And Trump jokingly responded, "Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that." So, contestants of the shows have specifically alleged that Trump entered the dressing rooms while they were in various stages of dress in 1997, 2000, 2001, and 2006. Okay. So let's talk about the Teen USA contestants. Because he owned that too. So Maria Bellato, Miss Vermont Teen USA, is one of 5 women to mention such a dressing room visit incident in 1997. Now, just to iterate, these are Teen USA, so they are underage. So Bellato said that of the visit, I remember putting on my dress really quick because I was like, oh my gosh, there's a man in here. Trump, she recalled, said something like, don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before. Bellato recalled talking to Ivanka, Trump's daughter, who responded with, yeah, he does that. Victoria Hughes, Miss New Mexico Teen USA, also said Trump did conduct a dressing room visit and that the youngest contestant there was 15. The dressing room had 51 contestants, each with their own stations. 11 girls said that they did not see Trump enter the dressing room, though some said it was possible that he had entered while they were somewhere else, or that they didn't notice. Of the 15 former contestants who were interviewed by BuzzFeed News, none alleged that Trump said anything sexually explicit or made physical contact in the dressing room, and reportedly, most of the former contestants were doubtful or dismissed the possibility that Trump violated their changing room privacy. Allison Bowman, Miss Wisconsin Teen USA, expressed skepticism. So these were teenage girls. If anything inappropriate had gone on, the gossip would have flown. Trump's campaign stated that the allegation of his entering the dressing room have no merit and have already been disproven by many other individuals who were present. So what do you think about that?
I mean, it's shitty if he did do it, but I don't know.
I mean, these
these
kids.
Girls are saying he didn't, but it's sad that his own daughter says, oh yeah, he does that. Like, it just seems like she's so used to him doing these kinds of things and being this way that it just seems like she just thinks that this is just dad being dad, but it's not okay.
Right. And he said that he would totally date Ivanka if they were not related.
I know. She's grown up her whole life having a sleazeball for her father and not even knowing, and still just doesn't seem to that she realizes how not normal that is.
Right. And now she's a White House aide. She's chief advisor.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Bridget Sullivan. So in 2000, Bridget Sullivan was Miss New Hampshire USA. As she prepared for a television broadcast, Trump allegedly walked into the dressing room. She told BuzzFeed that he was coming to wish the contestants good luck, but they were all naked. Some contestants that night do not remember his entering, while ladies prepared and other contestants mentioned that they had no negative experiences with Trump. A spokesman for Trump said Sullivan's claims were totally false, because, I mean, of course, it's routine. Tasha Dixon, Miss Arizona USA 2001, told a CBS affiliate in Los Angeles that in 2001, Trump just came strolling right in. There was no second to put on a robe or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, and other girls were naked. And she said that having been walked in on when the women had little or no clothes put on them in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him. Another contestant, Miss California USA, Carrie Brigitte Bowler, said the same CBS affiliate that it was wrong to paint Trump that way. Trump's response provided through spokeswoman Jessica Dito is that these accusations have no merit and have already been disproven by many other individuals who were present. Dito adds that she believes that there is a political motivation behind the accusation, because, I mean, that's just... An unnamed Miss USA contestant said that in 2001, Trump walked into her dressing room unannounced while she and another contestant were undressed. She told The Guardian, Trump just buzzed right in, didn't say anything, stood there and stared at us. He didn't walk in and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking for someone." He walked in, he stood, and he stared. He was doing it because he knew that he knew that he could. Another contestant told The Guardian the contestant had spoken to others of this event at the time. On October 14, 2016, Samantha Carol Holvey, Miss North Carolina USA 2006, related that Trump's conduct was creepy. Around the women participated, but he never made an advance toward her. She also said that before pageant events, Trump had moved in areas where she and other contestants were getting ready, and that she had never been around men who were like that. More than a year after Trump was elected president, and after many high-profile men such as Harvey Weinstein had lost their jobs because of sexual harassment allegations, Hovey wrote, "You can't work in Hollywood if you're a sexual predator, but you can become the commander-in-chief." She then related how Trump made her feel very uncomfortable at the 2006 Miss USA pageant. He eyed me like a piece of meat. I was shocked and disgusted. I have never felt so objectified. I left the meet and greet hoping that this would be my one and only encounter with him. She also described that how he had become backstage unannounced with Melania. I was shocked again by his violation of her personal space. What was he doing coming backstage when we were all getting dressed? So, what do you think about?
Whatever he wanted because he could.
Yeah, all these women are saying pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
In 1992, Trump appeared on NBC News show A Closer Look, hosted by Faith Daniels. During the show, Daniels said Trump, divorced at the time, agreed to make an appearance because you kissed me on the lips in front of the paparazzi, and I said, "That'll cost you. I'm booking you on the show." Trump replied that the kiss was so open and nice, and that he thought Daniels' husband had his back turned at the time. Trump had invited NBC News to film a party he threw for himself and Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-a-Lago, where they joined various NFL cheerleaders. The kiss incident occurred there. NBC News revealed footage of the party in July 2019 showing Trump, Epstein, and the cheerleaders. At one point during the video, Trump grabbed a woman around her waist, pulled her against his body, and patted her buttocks. At another point, Trump appears to tell Epstein, "Look at her. Back there. She's hot." Now that's a very famous picture of him with Epstein. I'm sure you've seen it. So, a 2006 article in New York Magazine quoted Trump talking about Jeffrey Epstein. "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a load of fun to be with. It's even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life." In 2008, Epstein pled guilty to charges involving child prostitution. In 2019, he was charged with child sex trafficking, and he died in his cell before facing trial, which is a whole other story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much all the allegations. Let's just look at a video of Trump and what he says about this. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
So let's give it a listen.
You're talking about...
As you have seen, right now I am being viciously attacked with lies and smears. It's a phony deal. I have no idea who these women are. I have no idea. I have no idea. And I think you all know I have no idea because you understand me for a lot of years. Okay? When you looked at that horrible woman last night, you said, "I don't think so. I don't know." Whoever she is, wherever she comes from, the stories are total fiction. They're 100% made up. They never happened. They never would happen. I don't think it happened with very many people, but they certainly aren't going to happen with me.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
whatever. He's a piece of shit. He's such a liar.
Yeah.
You just can't believe anything he says.
Yeah, I know.
At all.
Yeah, and we're gonna cut it off because we're a little bit over, but that's all the allegations. We could go into like the various reactions, like Trump's self-assessment, Trump's attorneys, the "Why Women Don't Report" hashtag, the smear allegations, the Michelle Obama speech. But we're not going to do that in this bit. We covered basically the important bit, which was the allegations themselves. So, what is your overall opinion about all of this?
My overall opinion is he's still a piece of crap, no matter how you look at it.
Okay. So is he even more terrible after you know about all these allegations?
I didn't realize there was this many. I knew there was some, but it's just terrible. And I am 100% sure that is not it. These are just the people that have come forward and said things about it. Yeah. And I'm gonna guess that because nothing was done about these allegations, the other women are just like, what's the point? Why come forward, put your name out there, bring all this publicity on yourself, and nothing happens, nothing changes. There's no consequences for this man. Now he is in charge of, he's our president, and people put him on this pedestal even more so now. It's sad.
Right.
That's that.
That's the story of the Donald Trump sexual misconduct allegations.
Yep. Sure is.
Okay. So yeah, that's all we got to say about that. Do you believe all these women?
I do. Why would somebody lie about that? Why would they say he touched them like that? What are they trying to get out of it? What, money? Really? I don't think so.
They're saying that it's because they just it's politically motivated. That's all that's their entire thing.
Politically motivated.
All they say it's fake, politically motivated. Moving on.
Fuck out of here.
All right. I've been Nathaniel Avila, hoping for the best.
And I've been Jessica Vega. Please go out and vote.
Vote this guy out.
Yeah.
We've done all we can. We used our medium to talk about the various crimes that he has inspired and that he has done. So I don't know what else to say. I don't know what other... also, there was a bunch of other cases that we did not have time to do. I had 10 other cases lined up for this miniseries. These are the ones that just made the cut. So, there's a laundry list more. Mm-hmm. And if you want to hear any more, that there is a good McSweeney's article called Lest We Forget the Horrors, which categorized every single one of Trump's crimes and misconducts of his entire time in office. So, if you want any more information about the crimes that he has committed, go there. So, that's it. Cool. I've been Nathaniel. This is Jessica Vega. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of Wacky Talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.